So today we're going to talk about the new album by Slipknot. This is the heavy metal band. They're from Iowa, and the album is called The End So Far, released on September 30th, 2022. This is album number 7 in their discography, produced by Slipknot and Joe Barresi. He's a guy, he produced a lot of like alternative rock bands and stuff. And released on Roadrunner. Supposedly it's like their last album on Roadrunner or something of that nature. Now, before this album came out, they released an album in 2019 called We Are Not Your Kind. This one I got right here. I like this one. I thought this was a good one. They kind of went in a different direction. And actually, when I did my ranking, I actually like put this one at number 1. I love this album. And this album, it's an album that fans are going to either hate it or they're going to love it. Because they kind of like take what they're doing here and they kind of like expanded on it a little. They do a lot more different stuff. They do some more like trippy stuff, psychedelic stuff, and there's some modern stuff. Some like old school Slipknot on here as well. But there's different stuff. You got like clean vocals and harsh vocals and the typical stuff you want, and lots of different stuff going on. So I think like diehard fans might not like it, but they're gonna be like some people who just like love this album. So I am more like leaning towards someone who does actually like this album. I listened to it, I think about like 4 times today. Kind of listened to it over and over again just to get a good feel of it, and I enjoyed it. It's very different. There's some different stuff, and let me talk about it because let me talk about the opening track called Adderall, because I think that's like kind of a strange decision because it's a weird kind of psychedelic synth pop, almost like a heavy, dark Muse, that type of sound. Very trippy, just all clean vocals. It's, the lyrics, they write like a lot of dark lyrics, about drugs, the Bible, all that kind of stuff. But it's the kind of a song that when a diehard Slipknot fan like puts it on, they hear this and they're gonna be like, oh, like what is going on? Like what is this? So I think it was kind of like risky putting this type of song as the first song because it might like turn away their like core fans. But it was a risk. I liked it. I thought it was just very different. It was cool, very original. So that's called Adderall. But then after that, we have actually the 3 singles that were released. So the Dying Song, that's a great one. Heavy classic Slipknot, just old school headbanger. Really cool. Got nice distorted riffs, galloping guitars. Got those like fast drums, the scratches, those old school Slipknot vocals. So if you're a fan of like this like Iowa era Slipknot or like Volume 3, you'll like this one. Then the Chapeltown Rag, this one came out like a year ago. I totally forgot this song existed. It's another one, heavy classic Slipknot, kind of like that like Iowa Slipknot, just a very headbanger. Lots of distorted guitars, those turntable scratches, very fast beat. They got like a slow breakdown towards the end and like those very harsh Corey Taylor like Slipknot style vocals. You got that in the Chapeltown Rag. Then that song Yen, which was one of those like very divisive types of singles. More like that modern Slipknot, maybe like Volume 3. I could even compare this to something like from like the Great Chapter. It was different. Kind of has the like dark and gory themes, those lyrics, and they use like clean and distorted guitars. They got some heavy riffs in here. They do rock sometimes. You got the turntable scratches. This one I liked, but I think this is one of the songs people might or might not like. Now, the next one, they kind of like start doing some different stuff. Hive Mind, they have like these like trippy, like and psychedelic intros. I really like that. It starts slow, but then afterwards it's like classic Slipknot, so it's really cool. It's a banger, just like a very dark and kind of violent song. Some of the guitars even made me feel a little bit like black metal with some like new metal riffs, lots of those blast beats, and Corey Taylor does kind of both styles in the vocals, those heart vocals and some clean ones. So this is a good one. There's a lot like packed into the song. You got some, new metal, some groove metal, and lots of stuff. And Warranty, this is old school Slipknot again. It's that like Iowa Slipknot, heavy riffs, just a banger, dark song. New metal riffs, got a little clean riffs here and there, but those like heavy drums, blast beats, harsh vocals, clean vocals. Towards the end, they're bringing some of those like choir vocals. That was pretty cool. Medicine for Dead. This one, They start doing some different stuff. It's very trippy, atmospheric, kind of slower paced, dark and haunting, evil and dark themes. That's like the general feeling of this. But I like the guitar sound, the palm muted riffs, the atmospheric riffs, those new metal riffs, those kind of chunky, almost thrashy riffs. This one's good. It's like a slower, has this like thick like reverb on the bass sound. I really love that part. Some synth effects and atmospheric stuff. Clean and harsh vocals. So this one I like. This one, you know, an old school fan might not like this, but I like that one. And Acidic, another one with that trippy and psychedelic intro on it. You know, it's dark, it's mid-paced. You hear a little bit of like atmospheric, like black metal. You know, little like hints of that, but also it's mostly like alternative metal. It's a dark and haunting song. You know, the lyrics they mention like living in a dead man's shoes, so that's the kind of like theme of it. And just they have some down-tuned riffs, but some more atmospheric stuff. The thick bass riffs I like. And then clean vocals, those like vocals with echo and some heavy vocals. So I like that one a lot. Then Heirloom. This one goes back to that classic Slipknot. You know, this is that old school stuff, you know, from the albums that you love. It's just heavy. It's just a banger. Very melodic as well. Got those like, really heavy new metal guitars. Just like a mid-paced rocker. And those clean and like semi-harsh. Then a pretty cool song called H377. It's very trippy, heavy, classic Slipknot, but there are hints of like industrial metal. I felt almost like a Ministry type of sound a little bit. This one's a banger. You know, very dark themes about love and hate. Those like staccato riffs, like galloping. Those down-tuned riffs, the heavy drums. You know, those chanting vocals. This one was different, but I love this one. These last two are pretty good. De Sade. This one mixes a lot of different stuff in it. You got some space rock, some like post-metal, new metal, a little industrial. It's just like trippy, atmospheric, and heavy stuff. It's a dark song about pain and heartbreak, and lots of riffs, new metal riffs, just straightforward metal riffs. It's a slow song. It's heavy, and Corey does those clean and heavy vocals. And then the last song was called Finale, kind of like hints at the idea that maybe it's their last song ever, but I don't think so. It's trippy. It's just memorable. This is the ballad. This is like the snuff of the album. It has the orchestra, the acoustic guitars, the hard rock riffs, the atmospheric feeling, the clean vocals, backing vocals, just like that dark feeling. And this is probably one of my favorites. I think so. I like the album. So if you don't know already, but I know some people are not gonna like this because they do some different stuff, and I can see how this could alienate some of their fans, but. You know, bands, they like to do different stuff. So, but for me, I liked it. For me, it's an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was very good. Favorite songs, I think the ones towards the end, H377, De Sade, Finale. Those are my favorites. I think the singles were good, but not my favorites. I think like the second half, I actually liked a little more. So, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you thought in the comments section, and let's talk about it. See you in the next one.